Greetings. This is Doc Ock coming at you live and direct this evening from Black Facts Studio Central with another installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. Yes, sometimes we do have to work a few kinks out of our system, but we try to get them out because we do not like kinks. Well, we do like some kinks when they come in the form of hair. We love some kinky hair, and we got a little bit still left over there. But other than that, kinks are not good. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get this thing started. You know what we're looking for. As always, we are looking for a donation at the beginning of every month. We ask you to go ahead, make a pledge, make a donation, no matter how small it may be. $5 and up is fine. You can make it right now. You can do it online, and it will help you feel fine, and it'll help us feel fine too. Go ahead and do it. If you see my profile picture with some coins next to it, click that link. If you don't see that, look below the description in the description area for a link on Facebook or YouTube. You'll find links. So go ahead and do it right now. You can even go to our website at www.blakfacts.org. In the meantime, it's about time for us to do our thing before we have to flee. Let's start off with our words of wisdom for tonight, which are, he who pays the piper calls the tune. From the mind of Dr. Edward W. Crosby, the father of Black History Month, he who pays the piper calls the tune. That's something we want to keep in mind at all times, because that's more than just a rhyme. And if you don't remember it, it ought to be a crime. He who pays the piper calls the tune. Now, let's see what we got here from our book of the week, Voice of Freedom, Fannie Lou Hamer. Let's see what we got here, because you know Fannie Lou Hamer was very difficult to tame her. Yes, very difficult to tame her when her name is Fannie Lou Hamer. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this one is called, it's a short one, and it's called My Mother Taught Me. Let's see. Oh, nope, we read that one last night. So we'll skip to the next one, which is called Fair. School was open 4 months out of a year, December through March, when children were not needed to tend cotton. I liked school even if Black history was left out. Speaking of which, and the textbooks made Black folks seem like fools. She still liked school. I recited poetry and won many a spelling bee. Fair? May I have a definition? Free of bias, dishonest, and unjust, or dishonesty and injustice. Fair? Fair, fair. I sang too, up through 6th grade, and then left to work full time in the fields. Those school days was over. My family needed every hand if we were ever to break even. At 13 years old, I picked 300 pounds of cotton per week. But I missed my school books. I gathered newspaper scraps along the roadside and magazines from the plantation's trash just to have something, anything to read. I was so hungry to learn. My mother drilled this into me. When you read, she said, you know, and you can help others. You can help yourself and others. Not much food and rarely meat on our table, often greens with gravy or onions with bread or cornmeal. Neighbors gave my mother chitlins, pig's feet, and hog heads for helping with the slaughter. Our beds were cotton sacks stuffed with corn shucks and grass. We had no electric, heat, or plumbing, and no money for a doctor to look after whatever caused this limp or to save my mother's sight when a wood chip hit her eye. Once my father managed to buy a wagon, a plow, 3 mules, Ella, Bird, and Henry, and 2 cows. Mullen, and Della. But a white neighbor poisoned our livestock. Just couldn't stand to see black people getting ahead. That knocked us right back down to doggone dirt poor doing without. My parents never did get a chance to get back up again. I sure did miss Della's milk. My goodness. You talk about some hard scrabble times. That's hard scrabble for real, for real. Hard scrabble. Poison the livestock. It's a doggone shame. Ought to be a crime. You know that's right. That just ought to be a crime. Straight up. Okay, let's see what I got here. Looking for a page here. Here we go. Okay. I think we'll do 2 again tonight probably. First poem up. First story up. From our book, Oh Freedom. If you haven't seen it, great little book. We've been enjoying reading it because it's telling the story of the civil rights movement from the front lines, from the grassroots, from the bottom up. And that's how it should be, from the bottom up as opposed to from the top down. Because we have a tendency to always focus on the leaders, only because they were in the limelight so much of the time. Okay, let's see if I can get this slideshow running here real quick. There we go. Transition on in there, and we'll give her a go. Nicole Bossard and Mary Bossard. Nicole, Grandma, back in the times of segregation, did people feel different or were people against you because of color? Mary, well, I tell you, child, it depended a lot on where you lived. If you lived in an all-black neighborhood and you didn't have to go out of the neighborhood for too many things, then you didn't feel different from anybody else. Nicole, what about when you left the neighborhood? Mary, well, that's when you felt different. Like a second-class citizen, you felt that you had to be careful where you wanted to go. Nicole, what do you mean? Mary, well, for instance, if you went to a store, you couldn't just walk in and browse around. You usually had a salesperson ignoring you completely or right on your heels. And if there was a white customer in the store, they would act like they didn't even see you. In many stores, they wouldn't even let you try on a dress or a hat. If you wanted to buy it, they'd sell it to you once they were done with the white customers, but you would have to imagine what it would look on you or guess if it fit right. Nicole, that must have made you feel very bad. Mary, it's a feeling that's hard to put into words. Everywhere you went, you had to ask first, can I go in there? Will they accept me? Nicole, thank you for talking to me, Grandma Bossard. Okay, and then we're going to skip a couple pages here. And this one is Latoya Smith interviewing Shirley Collins. Latoya, Mrs. Collins, do you remember the days of segregation? Yes, I certainly do. Latoya, well, what part of segregation do you remember the most? Shirley, at one time, the buses were segregated. They had this little piece of wood, and this wood would be placed in some holes on the back of the seat. One side said for colored only, and the other side said for whites only. And they would move this back and forth as people got on. Latoya, why did they move it back and forth? Well, as some whites came on the bus and there were not enough seats, we were asked to move back. Now, mind you, we are already at the back of the bus. There ain't much more space to move except out the back door. Regardless of whether you had enough room to sit down or not, they would ask you to move back. We would get up and they would move the piece of wood to the next seat down. They would not sit next to us, but they would sit exactly where we had been sitting a few minutes before. Latoya, why didn't you just share the seat? Sometimes on field trips, they make us sit next to boys. Now, you know that should be a crime. Latoya, Shirley, they didn't have to share, and no one was going to make them. They could just make us move. It was the law. We were paying the same price as the others to ride the bus. The whites didn't pay any more than we did, but they were always guaranteed the seats, while we were not. Latoya, that must have made you feel very bad. Shirley, yes, we were very sad and angry about this fact. We knew that this was an injustice. Latoya, why didn't you do something about it, Grandma? Shirley, oh, we did. And that is why things are, quote unquote, better today. Latoya, thank you, Mrs. Collins. Shirley, you're welcome. So, yeah. So those are the only two stories we're going to read today. But I think both of them spoke volumes as to what people were dealing with, how they had to move through the world, etc. And that whole section was called Life Under Segregation, in case you wondered why everything related to segregation that we just finished reading about. That would be the reason. All right, now we're ready for our last segment, which is we're going to read a poem by Miss Lou. All right, and as I've told you before, sometimes he can be a little bit hard to read. So bear with me if I mispronounce a word here or there. I'm going to do the best I can. And that's all I can do. I can't do no more. And this one is called Monday Gone. Kiss me, Grandpa. What a crowd. Although it just done rain. Cool roses head and drapes up frock to decorate Love Lane. But time, the crowd no tap your soul. See there, about 10 line meet. Some brook the corner from round parade. Some brook the brook gone up King Street. The gal they say she out here turn up about 5 hour flat. Sun bun her up, rain wet her up, but she not budge from spot. He now for the boring. Give me all of the ticket, George. When Uno hear me ball let go, the whole of Uno charge. At last we get in. Sit down, Kate. John, see a seat there gone. Try grab it quick before that mine. What a old pig but tan. Teeth a catch off of the step, yeah. Can sit down upon this book. You're comfortable. Quick, get up. One policeman a look. Open the grip of food and pass the carrier with the rice. Babu, take out the cooler drink. Where you put the farted in ice. Swallow the spoon of rice. Quick, no. Where you dare gone with Kate. You better full of your gut. We got 2 hours more for wait. What a nice piano. Tap is how the stage so clean tonight. The thing soon start now. See the man, the play with the spotlight. Clap, John, clap, George, clap, Babu, clap. Till your hand miggle sore. Do massa make she sing again. Johnny Ball out encore. Me is a gal no care a kick about color and them thing. But when George Ball encore and the lady come back for sing, me head turn gig, me heart swell big, me proud, me please, me glad. Me look pon her, then look down pon me han and say, thank God. Well, that's what I say when we finish that poem. Thank God. My goodness. Talk about a tongue twister. Woo wee. Miss Lou, Miss Lou. I do the best I can with them, but you know it's awfully hard because my tongue don't twist so easy. It's not quite so limber, you see. But I do the best I can. I work with it until I make it mine, and then it'll be all divine. But in the meantime, you know what we like all of yous to do, especially all you little ones. We like y'all to take your little head and lay it on your little pillow, on your little bed while you close your eyes and wait on the sun to rise. And when you feel those sunbeams beaming down on your eyes, you know that it's time for you to rise and shine, oh children of mine. And in the meantime, all of you adults out there, you know what we need you to do. We got special tasks just for you. In order to keep us from feeling really blue, what we need you to do is to go ahead and make a little donation, because what we're doing here is a vocation, not a vacation. So in order for us to remain at this station, we need each one of you to go ahead and drop a dime. It's not a crime and it won't hurt a bit. And it might even go along with my rhyme. So in the meantime, we will see you again. This is Doc Ock signing off. Peace out, without a doubt. Of course, with plenty of justice, because anything less disgusts us. As we say goodnight to Denio Griffiths. Peace out, peace out. We'll see you later, no doubt. And in the meanwhile, we're going to go to our extra.